I don't see any connection between sex and violence. I'm just not into it. But like, what is that? And it's very common. I'm not going to embarrass you by asking you if you are aware of that, but I know that you are aware of that because every man is aware of that. What the fuck is that? Like, that's not healthy at all. And that seems to me to be, I'm just guessing, I have no personal experience with it, but that seems to me to be an expression of a longing for male aggression that's gone in an unhealthy direction. Or did you read, the famous pornographic novel for women? Do you remember this?
50 Shades of Grey.
Did you read it?
No.
Well, I read it because I'm interested in women.
Okay.
I read it.
That's a great disclaimer so that you can justify reading 50 Shades of Grey.
Dude, it was the least erotic thing I've ever read in my life. I read it on a flight to LA. I was embarrassed to read it, but I was like, I'm interested in women. I want to know how they think.
Not even a twitch?
Literally, I took a celibacy pledge by the time we landed at LAX. I found it so repulsive and weird.
Okay.
And it just shows that men and women are so different that things that turn them on are different.
Exactly.
It was all about control and humiliation.
Dude, so
100%. And I'm hearing all these women like, oh my gosh, I had to, whatever. Women were really in fuego about this book. And as a man, you read it, you're like,
the fuck
honestly, I've been to church services that are more erotic than this. This is actively.
Yeah. Okay, so I have some firsthand experience of this. I was the cover of a bunch of dark romance novels in my 20s.
Sorry?
I was the cover model of some dark romance novels in my 20s. You do not need to Google them.
You were the Fabio of the UK?
Yeah, Dorian Gray. Dorian Gray, but with a British accent.
Actually?
Yeah, I did every red...
Why did my producers tell me this? Let me check the booking sheet here.
I did every red flag that your future son-in-law should not have. Male model, DJ, nightclub promoter, all of the red flags. My point is, I was a part of this in very tangentially, right? You do modeling, sometimes a photo gets taken, an author says, oh, that's great. That can be like the muse idea for the front cover of this book. Would I be able to buy it? And I'm 20. I'm like, yeah, sure. You pay $1,000 and you get my photo. That's great. I'm on the cover of a book. Like, isn't that great? A little bit darker and more raunchy than I might have anticipated. My mum, when she found out that her son was on the cover of a book, said, oh, it'd be lovely. I'd love to read it. And I'm like, this isn't Harry Potter. You're not reading this book. Anyway. My point being, I've been tangential to that industry in the past. What was interesting was the timing of 50 Shades coming out and the sort of archetypes that you saw within the dark romance genre. Very much typically masculine men, heavy brow, big hands, lumberjack, plaid shirt, man stuff, big chest, muscular, in a position of prestige, typically dominant, typically wealthy, not succumbing to just not particularly of the ilk that the modern world was telling men that they should be more of, especially post Me Too. And this is an uncomfortable circle to square if you want to try and marry these two worlds together, right? So what they did was they tried to make romance novels more in keeping with the sort of archetype that modern men were perhaps supposed to be, a more agreeable, softer sort of man. And these are referred to as cinnamon roll husbands or golden retriever husbands. And they wrote romance novels about this story arc, right? This was the kind of archetype that was going on. Shock, horror, they did not sell, right? Women were not buying the golden retriever husband, cinnamon roll husband story arc. They wanted the Dorian Gray archetype.
How shocking is that? Did you read any of the books?
No.
You should go back and read your own books. And I bet you would find them not only non-erotic, but like anti-erotic. Like, these are your fantasies, really?
What are the...
I think every man thinks that female sexual fantasies are like pillow fights in the sorority house.
Right.
Those are male sexual fantasies. Female sexual fantasies tend to be much more about power than men's sexual fantasies, I have noticed. And
presumably an imbalance of power.
Yeah, where they're on the, on the weaker side. And they're, some of them are not, no one ever wants to be honest about anything, basically. Lying just kind of dominates every public conversation. And I'm not attacking anybody. I've just noticed this because I'm interested. And no, they're all, I don't think women want to be dehumanized or ignored or treated like children. I don't think that. But the kind of novels that sell, sex novels that sell to women, are not sexually arousing to men at all, I have found. And again, they're all about being dominated. Like that's what it is.
One caveat to put in there is
I'm really bothered by it. I just want to be totally clear. I don't like that. I don't like all the weird power dynamic stuff, but whatever, they like it. And so to tell me that the Me Too movement is about making men less aggressive sexually because women hate male sexual aggression, you're just lying. That's just not true.
Well,
do you take a poll of women? Do you care what they think? Do you know what they think? No, of course they have no idea what women think. They don't care.
men's sexual aggression from men that they don't want to be sexual with is the sort of thing that can scar you for the rest of your life.
Well, needless to say, I'm obviously I'm against any kind of I'm against just violence, period, and including choking during sex, sorry. I think what is that? Don't lecture me about Me Too if you're asked to getting choked during sex, sorry. Just not taking you seriously. But no, I totally agree. Sexual assault, rape, we don't punish rape severely enough. Most men feel that way, by the way. It's the female judges who let the rapists out early. It's not the male judges.
Is that true?
Of course it's true. Of course it's true. It's not your average man thinks that rapists should be, boiled alive. Yeah, of course. And I've never met a man who doesn't feel that way. Every normal man feels that way. And I've never met anyone who got off on rape fantasies. In fact, I would bet my house that the majority of Americans who find rape fantasies appealing are not men. Sorry. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm right.
No, I've seen some really uncomfortable data that...
Yeah, you have, right.
When you look at very aggressive porn, the primary consumer of that is not men.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not attacking anybody at all.
But people are allowed to have their preferences.
I agree with you.
And in many ways, we don't get to choose what it is that arouses us.
That's the whole point I've been making for 2 hours. This is nature. We're not in control of it. We have to conform to the system already in place that we did not create because we're not God. So you just have to deal with what you got.
Politically, when that is, or publicly in terms of PR or press or whatever, when that becomes inconvenient because there is a movement in one direction that goes against what is preferred, natural, predisposed in another. So great example of this, talking about the aftershock of Me Too, which we're still in the blast radius of in many ways. Half of single men under the age of 30, 18 to 30, report not approaching a woman in the last year. About 82% of women report experiencing creepy behavior, sometimes, often, or always by men, right? So you have guys not approaching women for fear of making them uncomfortable, for fear of being a part of some news story. Women also being made to feel uncomfortable, at least sometimes during their life. But 86% of women say that they want a man to make the first move.
Exactly.
So let's try and square this circle, right? You have women, guys know that if they don't make the first move, nothing's really going to happen because 86% of women say that they want to do it. Women also kind of want guys to make the first move, but are fearful because sometimes they're creepy and they are the more vulnerable sex.
Exactly.
So like in this, an acceptance of, okay, there needs to be a buffer zone for well-meaning and non-dangerous errors to be made. A guy was a little bit silly with the way that he came up to you. Don't mock him. Don't make him feel small or stupid because he wasn't super cool when he came up and tried to say hello in a polite way, or you've got a boyfriend and you can like laugh in his face. Like, because you are scarring that guy for the next girl that he is going to go up to that does really want to speak to him. And we're in the aftershock of a time where guys were really told, like, your presence is dangerous. Your gaze is toxic. Your gaze can make a woman feel uncomfortable. And that's not to say that it can't. If you've been stared at on the subway by someone for 4 stops, I bet that really makes you very, very uncomfortable as a woman. So like it's
a defining fact of women's lives.
It's messy.
Oh, it's messy. Super complicated.
This is messy and difficult, and just saying, hey, let's just give a little bit of leeway. And now you may or may not have seen these videos. There's these women stealing Finance Bros salads from Sweetgreens in Manhattan. This TikTok of a girl talking about, she's a real attractive girl. She's doing her hair, getting ready. And she's saying that some of her friends go to salad bars and steal the salads that are waiting on the side that have been ordered for pre-collection from these guys that work on Wall Street. And then they find them on Instagram based on the name that's on the top of the order and message them and say, I'm so sorry, I accidentally picked up your salad, as a counter to the fact that so few men that are eligible are approaching women. There's another video of a girl walking through Central Park.
They're really clever, I must say.
Dude, they wipe the floor with guys with that social stuff. Another girl walking through Central Park, and she's like glowing skin, like low cut top, attractive woman, mid-20s, whatever. And she's basically saying like, walking through Central Park, my hair's great, my skin's great, I've got the boobs out today. And I wonder if any man is going to approach me. So it's evident to me that there is a world of women who really would quite like to be approached more by guys. And the men who needed a little bit more encouragement, I think, are still on the timid side. And unfortunately, the guys that were blasting through boundaries just disregarded the advice of Me Too in any case.
I think the wisest thing you said, artfully, was this is just incredibly complex, and that it may, in some sense, be beyond the capacity of people to really understand it. But you do the thing that is necessary that will fix it, which is just tell the truth about what you see. Be sincere about what you observe, try to make things better. Like, that's the only answer. We got here because of lying. People just like lying about obvious things, denying what their senses tell them for ideological reasons or whatever dark reason. But like, lying is just bad, and you always wind up in a bad place when you do it. And so I think you are a truth teller on these questions, and I really appreciate all the time you took today.
I appreciate you too, man.
Thank you. We're excited to announce a new partner of our show, Poncho Outdoors. Poncho specializes in men's shirts designed for the great outdoors. Their flannels are excellent. They're not bulky or stiff, and they are durable. They're built for comfort. These medium weight, stretchy, shockingly soft shirts are the go-to when temperatures drop. Poncho shirts are perfect for everything you do outside in the fall. Fishing, hunting, golfing, enjoying the weather. Poncho is the way to go. Producers, I'm looking at one wearing one right now. Each shirt is comfortable, durable, versatile for whatever happens. Slim, regular, tall fits because people come in all shapes and sizes. Gear up for fall with Poncho. Every piece is built for comfort. PonchoOutdoors.com/Tucker. Enter your email for $10 off your first order. That's Poncho, Poncho, Outdoors.com/Tucker for $10 off and free shipping. When they ask, how'd you hear about Poncho? Let them know the Tucker Carlson Show sent you with maximum enthusiasm. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.